So Nick's obviously behind the wheel and is going to run us through a few of the modifications spec-wise on the car, and then just have a general chit-chat about, again, what we've done with the car recently and Ben's aspirations to go forward with it and stuff.
Yeah, well, like I'm sure people know what Ben's up to anyway. He obviously did Time Attack last year, and we've continued to support him with his hardware and software stuff. We've since had the car wrapped, which will obviously, I'm sure you'll do some stuff, some cinematics and what have you, so the guys on the channel can see it. But we wanted to have a little chat about really what building a fast track car but still able to use on the road is all about. And this is a good example. Ben drives this to the Time Attack rounds and then competes against some pretty heavy tackle and then drives it home. There's quite a lot of people obviously that when they get into circuit racing, they like to trailer them there like we do. We trailer the car there just in case there's any issues and things like that. So it's testament to the product and the software that he drives to as far as Brands Hatch, and then competes and drives home. Last year he was right in contention. He got quite a lot of trophies, some first places, some second places, and this year he's spent quite a little bit of money on some further upgrades to the chassis, changing the I don't know how much I'm allowed to say in terms of what products and things, but I know that he's got some different bracing on the car. Tarox have looked after him with an even bigger set of brakes. Yeah, he's got the new Pro Alloy race spec cooler, the same as ours, which unfortunately means he's been pushed up into a different class, which is a bit of a bummer really for him, in the sense that he's now going to be up against some really, really quick cars. Although this car's running a VT, and as you can see there, the response is instant, and that's what people forget. The bigger the turbo, the more lag you introduce, the more likelihood that, the VT 330 is built to run on stock fueling, and it maxes the stock fueling out. If you want to, you could potentially push a little bit more with auxiliary fueling on a VT 330, but the reality is, if you go to a bigger set of wheels inside the turbo, which is capable of, as we're testing at the moment, people have seen, you can then run an auxiliary fuel kit and potentially push for more. The downside to that, aside from the cost implications, because it does get expensive, is the fact that you're introducing quite a lot of lag into a road car, and certainly on the circuit, unless it's a big open circuit, somewhere like Cadwell Park, you need to be on boost to come out of the corners and get the car moving. Yeah. So whilst you can drop down extra gears and things like that, sometimes you find that you reach the limit of a chassis with power, certainly on the circuit, where it really matters, and then you actually start going slower because you're introducing more power, so you're quicker down the straight, but trying to get the thing to drive flat round the corner and drive out the corner nicely.
So this is like realistically what a lot of people aim for, because it's not a VUDU car, but it's not the race car. Like, it's a band one in the middle. Yeah, you could literally drive it to work. Yeah, as you can see, we're driving around reasonably comfortable. I think to be honest, the VUDU car will probably become something very similar to this at some point in the not so distant future. But we're driving around reasonably comfortable. Tends to be there, especially when it's warm. But you could then drive this to the circuit and be competitive. And if you went to a track day with this kind of power in this sort of setup car, there isn't a great deal out there, particularly where in terms of cost, where they would be able to keep up. Most things, when we go to the circuit with our car, there's literally very limited amount of cars, mainly race cars, that can actually keep up. A lot of people get upset, don't they?
Yeah, the big heavy tackle, the supercars and stuff like that, it's always a little bit disappointing for them, really. people start with the power side. You know, realistically at this level, you can see there we hardly got any wheel spin. You know, having it, this has got a cast plated diff in it that we supplied Ben and fitted for him. You know, they do need a little bit more maintenance, but over something like a Quaif or whatever that's fit and forget, this cast plated diff puts the power down really, really well. Does pull you a bit around on the if you're on an uneven surface, you've got to be ready to be pulled left and right a little bit, but you don't feel unsafe. See if we can get another go up here. Manufactured, so we've not really seen much of that. So it's been a little while since I've driven anything. Obviously the M4 is incredible, it's really fast, but
not as fast as this.
Well, I don't know, it'd be close with a tune on it, I think. I don't know, we'll see in future. Maybe that's one for people to, if there's enough comments, maybe we'll go for a racer.
Spec then, it's got diff,
yeah.
PT330,
yeah.
new Pro Alloy cooler,
yeah.
which
it's got the radiator from Pro Alloy as well, so the new radiator, the race spec into cooler, which, you know, again, for what Ben's doing, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Most of the guys out there that want to do a little bit of track day time, they're not competing for every 10th of a second. Something like the AirTech Stage 3 is more than adequate, but if you've got, there is a new Pro Alloy cooler which we're going to test shortly, which is the curved one that they've just brought out. Yeah. I'd be interested to see how that compares, because we know that the original Pro Alloy is fantastic for Stage 2 Pro and V1 and V1 Plus, but when you get to this sort of level of heat management, it's not quite man enough.
So as you can imagine, we're really excited to see what this season is going to bring for Ben in time attack and so on. So we're going to follow Ben's progression this year as much as possible. We're going to be joining him at a few of the circuits. So again, there's going to be an open invitation for all you guys to come and join us, again support Ben along the way, and just follow his journey again throughout this season. So if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'll leave links in the description below to a number of the items that we spoke about in the video that are actually on Ben's car currently, but other than that, make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below if you've got any questions at all, and we'll see you on the next video.